Okay, I'm going to go over making a box plot, and I'm going to go over how to make it as well as how to make it in StatCrunch, as well as kind of my specific requirements. There are two box plots in the book. There is a regular box plot and then a modified box plot. I'm going to show you how Excel is doing each one of those and what I specifically want for the five number summary. So this is some data here. And I'm going to actually do 3 box plots so we can kind of see how we can use these for comparisons. So this is the stuff you should have already from your part 3. So you should already have the mean, median, and standard deviation of your different groups. You can see I have those right here, okay? And I should know how many I have. I keep that n. So now to find the first quartile, that is 25% of my time. And then my quartile 3 is 75% of 31. And you could also use, if you wanted, you could do H6 and you could have it whole. Okay? You always round up. If it was an exact number, remember you average. This is where you have to look at those percentiles things. So if I got exactly 8, I would actually have to average 8 and 9. So just a heads up there. That is that little leery. If you get an exact number, it's actually more work. So then I want the 8th value. Now over here, I have these. I pulled these. I left them over here because this is in date order, and I want to keep that information. So I copied it over here. I want to sort each one of these, smallest to largest. I only want the section, because if I sort the whole section, it's going to then sort all these. I don't want it to. I'm individualizing them now, because then I want the 8th. But the 8th actually down here is going to be in the 9th slot. Now you can either pull it, or you can just go, this is L9, okay? And you can count down to 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right there. That's the value. I'm just letting Excel do it. And then this is going to be the 24th, which is going to be in the 25th position because I have a label in the front row. Okay, and then I'm going to just copy, right? Now I've got all my quartiles. Okay, then so this gives me my quartiles to give an idea of what is outliers. And this is actually where we're going. We want an idea of, do we have outliers here? I'm going to find my inner quartile range, which is just simply the 2 quartiles subtracted. So H8 minus H7, Q minus Q3 minus Q1, the biggest minus thing. I'm going to pull those, right? Then I want 1.5 times this value, so H9, okay? And then, right, okay. Then the lower thing, but what's going to differentiate what's an outlier or not, is going to be, I'm going to take quartile 1, so in this case H7, and I'm going to subtract this value, this 13.5, and then the upper is going to be my quartile 3, H8, plus this value, H10, okay? So this is saying, so let's fill right, okay? So what this is telling me is in 1980, I would have to be under 28.5 degrees or over 64.5 to be an outlier. I don't have any outliers. Let's see here. I don't have anything under 30. Do I have anything over 58? Nope. Here, 62 and 34. Nope. So I would have no outliers. But if I did have another value in here that say was, say I had a 70-degree day over here in 1980, that would then be an outlier. Now, if I wanted to draw this by hand, okay, then all I'm really doing here is here's my number line. And you do want to put the median on here. So my median, which I have up here, okay. My median was 47. My quartiles, so my quartiles are 42 and 51. So this is my box, okay? And that middle, that is that, okay? And then what I do is I go all the way to, in this case, since these are below, I go to my ends, and usually I just go to my ends anyway. So then this is 31, and this is 50. No, what's my, okay, that's like 34. 34. I need to look over here. My min is 34. My max is 54. Okay, and then I would just put little whiskers out here to show they would go. You can do this two ways. I went all the way to the ends because I didn't. If you had outliers, you would have the option. So say, just for, you know, experimenting sake here, I have this same one here. So here's my 47, my 51, my 42, okay? And I haven't redone this, this gives you an idea here. Say I had a 78. I could then go all the way to the end to 78 and put it out here and go down here to my 34 and leave it like this. I also could put in these are called fences. I could put in, say that there was, I'm going to leave this would have changed, but say this I'm going to put out here at 65, and then as a dot I would put my 78. That highlights the outliers. There's just two different ways of doing it. This bottom one's a modified box plot. The top is the full box plot. So the full box plot is going to go all the way to the ends of your data regardless of outliers. The modified is going to only go to your fences with the whiskers, but then put dots for your outliers. Now, when you do your 5-number summary, I want to see the min and the max. So when you do your 5-number summary, I want min, Q1, Q2, which is the median, okay, Q3, and max. I expect these mins and maxes not to be your fences, but the actual mins and maxes. Like in the second case, I would want to see 78 as your max, even though your fence is 65. You can throw your fences in if you want. Now, if you didn't want to do this by hand, say you decide, I'm going to let Excel do this for me. I'm going to let StatCrunch do this for me. So I'm going to move over to StatCrunch, and I'm going to copy my data in, okay? And I'm going to go here, and I'm going to go to Graph, and I'm going to go to Boxplot. And I'm going to pick all three of these, okay? This use fences is going to give you a modified box plot. So if I compute this, it's not going to matter here. This is going to give me all three. And this is, if I hover over this, this is going to give me exactly what I need. Now, what if I put in those outliers? And this is where we're going to do here. I'm just going to do one of these at this point, 78, okay? So I added in, you know, this 78-degree day that's going to be this outlier. And so I'm going to come here and I'm going to do this. I'm going to do 2. So this is my modified box plot. So this is only now you can see going to like 54. That would be the value when you redid it of that upper fence. And then it shows the outlier up here. If I come here and I do 1980, but I unclick this, okay, then this is going to give you, you can see here now this goes all the way up to that. It's the same middle, just the two different ways. But you can see here this 5-number summary is a little bit different. This is the 5-number summary I want. This one here on the unmodified box plot. This one, the only thing difference is that upper limit. You can see here there's nothing else changed. So just be careful on that 5-number summary. Min and max, I actually mean min and max of your entire set. Whichever one of these graphs you use, I don't care. I actually really like the modified for visual sake, plus it easily identifies those outliers. So I'm perfectly fine with you using this graph. Just make sure that you adjust for the fact that they gave you your fences as limits versus the full min and max. So just kind of a heads up there on that difference. So hopefully this helps you do that. So for your box plot, if you're turning it in, I expect to see the box plot. Either one is fine. And then the 5-number summary. If you pull the 5-number summary from StatCrunch, just a heads up that I do for that min and max want the actual min and max, not the fences. And they're going to give you the fences when you hover over it. So, okay, that was a really long-winded explanation that you probably got 5 minutes ago, but I wanted to make sure I was clear on what my expectations were.